So the next thing, we have the administrative snip. In 1927, we start really establishing the first primacy for eugenics. So the Supreme Court passed this law that was emphasized because of what they call, and I'm just using their words here, imbeciles. And so this court case was called Buck versus Bell, as you guys can see here. And in this court case, what they were deciding was whether they should be able to sterilize unfit people, intellectually disabled, handicapped, anybody that they thought were going to be a issue for protection and health of the government. So if they thought that you posed any threat, they think, well, they passed this as a precedent. The government has the legal authority to sterilize you, to forcefully sterilize you. And the direct quote from the Supreme Court was, 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. That's what they wanted you to know. And this law is still on the books. If they wanted to still go along with this law is still on the books. And this is the legal foundation for every vaccine mandate. The argument is your body is a public risk. And if you are a risk, we should make sure you don't have any more children, because 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. So when you think about these vaccine mandates that happened back in COVID, you think, wow, this is crazy. It's never happened before. They've been doing this since 27. They've been saying we need to sterilize these people because they're mentally disabled. They're mentally handicapped. Basically, you're not valuable. Your value as a human is less, subpar. So you shouldn't be producing children at all.
But I'm shocked that people are even producing children nowadays anyways. Like we've seen what's going on in the dating world.
Excuse me, are you a girl? You are? Oh my God! My dreams do come true! Excuse me, I could smell you from across the way, and I wanted to ask.
It looks like that's a real person from Meat Canyon.
just a nibble. Can you take your shoes off for me? Do you even know what Warhammer is? Do you even know where you're at? Like, what are you doing here? Why would you even come here? You're not allowed. You're not allowed. You're not supposed to play this game. Here. This is my game.
You're making the argument tougher.
My friend doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
You know, if you really enjoy magic, you can always come back with me to my place, and we can make a deck together. Maybe watch some movies. And maybe a lot more.
Give me your shoes! No! Give me your shoes!
That's what women apparently have to go through in there. You go to a game store to get a video game, and that's what you have to go through. And again, I'm not a woman, so I would never know this. But in the comment section, you see all these women commenting like, "Yeah, this is why I don't shop for games in the local store. I get them online or whatever." Like they don't even go. All these women are confirming this is exactly what they're met with. It's that kind of stuff. So I'm not really why. It seems like they're already doing. They don't need a vaccine to stop any kind of genes from spreading. All they just needed is propaganda. That you need to play more video games, go out less. And COVID, that was a big thing because it forced people more indoors.
Well, I think the issue is because they have now. Yeah, because I mean, when you think about it, that court case was 1927. You know, there's no TV, there's no social media. People are just reproducing all day, every day. What else are you going to do?
Well, back in the day, it was no different.
That's just an obstruction. Well, that's just an obstruction. They can just rip that off. And back in those days, they probably did. But
I rip your eyelids off too with it. Though.
yeah, well, in those days they probably didn't even care.
Can't be too careful.
Yeah, prohibition and all. But yeah, I would say all they did was give an update. Now we have social media, now we have video games, we have a lot of things that can kind of deter you from thinking about procreating all day. Back in the day, what else were you going to do? But yeah, see, you made this argument more difficult, colleague. When people see that, they might actually agree with Buck and Bell and what happened in that court case and saying, yeah, 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. I don't want to go down that road because I think all human have equal value. But yeah, when you play videos like that,
I think the women are going to be the first people to hit that terminate button.
Yeah, well,
especially if you show them which imbeciles you're erasing.
It just depends because each one of those people you call an imbecile, they all came from a mother too. So yeah, you might say somebody else's child is, but would you say yours?
Yeah, that's where a lot of, I think we're going down that line where child rearing isn't seen as a good thing. It's seen as more of an inconvenience. And it is because, back in the day, you worked hard for what you had. Men and women both worked hard. So child rearing was just another thing you had to do, is just working hard. But nowadays, because everything is microwave and very easy to get, the one thing that's not easy is child rearing, and you can't do that. There's no way to, push fast forward. There's no way to pay your way out of that. You have to slowly, through this painstaking process, watch the child take everything from you, everything down to your very soul.
Yeah, it's true. But, like a lot of people, regardless, they always say that's still my child, regardless. And especially mothers. I mean, they have a natural nurturing proclivity. But yeah, it's always easy to point out somebody else's child as the imbecile. But are you going to push the delete on your own child? And, a lot of people may make that argument, for abortion. Like they believe that it's not a human yet, so they want to make that argument. But what about your 7-year-old, your 10-year-old, your 21-year-old that's still living in your basement right now? It is what it is. And I'm not making the fact that if you're still living with your parents, you're an imbecile or anything like that. But people—
But you are a millennial.
Well, it's easy to point the finger. It's like, yeah, their child. But would you say it about yours? And that's the problem, is everybody's child is somebody's own personal child. But that's the question. Justification is a fine line between desire and necessity. And so the question is do you want to start justifying the value of humans? The government wants you to, so they can go ahead and continue with this eugenical idea. 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. Let's just stop it all. And we just need to create this super race. And that was the premise of this administrative snip in 1927. And that law, remember, that law is still in the books. And when we talked about earlier, how the idea is ownership. Well, in Michigan, they've been storing your baby's blood spots for decades. They have already been capturing the DNA before you have a name. Your data has been inside this database since your birth. And this is just Michigan. I'm sure there's other places. But they have been owning the inventory from the cradle to the grave. So
they've been robbing the cradle and the grave.
And your data and your DNA and everything else.
I made sure they couldn't have my DNA. I never caught any of it.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to catch some soon. You're going to catch some ghost DNA.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, because I just wanted to set the preface. That was Act 1. That was the history of what was foundational